For centuries, ancient Egyptian kings believed they would rule again in the afterlife. But one pharaoh dared to chase something bigger than just immortality. He wanted to defeat death itself. The priests feared his ambition. The nobles feared his cruelty. And an ancient prophecy feared only him. This is the story of Pharaoh Sephon-Ra, a king forgotten by his own kingdom, yet remembered by the curse he left behind. The legend says Sephon-Ra wasn't born of royal blood. He was born from the desert itself, found as an abandoned child during a blinding sandstorm. The royal priests proclaimed he was chosen by the gods, a divine sign. But the people whispered a different story, a darker one. They said he was not chosen by the gods, but by something much older, something that slept beneath the sands. When he finally took the throne, Egypt entered an unprecedented age of wealth and blood. Sephon-Ra didn't rule through fear alone. He ruled through silence. No one dared to speak against him. No one questioned his decrees. Those who did simply vanished. He built magnificent cities and towering obelisks, but each stone seemed to be cemented with the shadows of those who disappeared. His reign was a golden era, but it glittered with a cold, terrifying light. He wasn't just a king. He was an absolute silent force that bent the entire nation to his will. But Sephon-Ra wasn't satisfied with temples, statues, or mountains of treasure. He craved something no pharaoh before him had ever truly grasped. He ordered the construction of something never seen before, a tomb built not to honor the king, but to devour his enemies. It was a labyrinth of impossible angles and dark corridors, designed to trap not just intruders, but their very souls. Workers perished building it. Priests died performing the dark rituals to consecrate it. Even the chief architect, the only one who knew its secrets, disappeared without a trace once his work was done. Sephon-Ra believed his name. His essence could never be forgotten, as long as it echoed louder than the silence of death itself. One day, an old, blind priest, rumored to hear the whispers of the gods, dared to speak the truth. Standing before the throne, he declared, "Your name will not be immortalized, great king. It will be erased, scattered by the hands of your own bloodline." Sephon-Ra just laughed, a chilling, hollow sound that echoed through the grand hall. He was convinced the gods were on his side. He ordered the priest to be executed, his body buried nameless beneath the very throne he had defied. But before he drew his last breath, the priest uttered one final curse, a whisper that would haunt the king forever. A ruler who desires to live forever must first learn to die alone. That very night, the Nile, the lifeblood of Egypt, flooded with a fury never before witnessed. Villages were swallowed by the murky waters. Cracks appeared in the palace walls, as if the earth itself was trying to break free from his grip. From that moment on, the pharaoh changed. The prophecy had taken root in his mind. He became obsessed, a man at war with an invisible enemy. He saw threats everywhere. He executed his most loyal generals, poisoned suspicious family members, and in a fit of paranoia, he even had their names chiseled off monuments and temple walls, trying to erase them from history before they could erase him. But the prophecy was already working its insidious magic. Not through the gods, not through sorcery, but through something far more powerful, human memory. The people, fearing the curse associated with him, stopped saying his name aloud. Scribes, terrified of attracting his wrath or the wrath of the gods, stopped writing it in the royal records. Even the nobles in his court only referred to him in hushed, fearful whispers as the Nameless One. He had spent his life trying to erase his enemies from existence. But in his madness, he had only succeeded in erasing himself. The final years of his reign were a descent into madness. He was consumed by paranoia, ordering his royal guards to stand watch over his own statues at night, convinced they would turn against him. He saw betrayal in his own shadow. In a last, desperate attempt to secure his legacy, he commanded the construction of one final tomb, a massive, seamless pyramid with no visible door. It had only one secret entrance and a single condition for its use. To enter, one had to carve the king's name into the stone seal. It was his final guarantee of remembrance. But when he finally died, alone and feared by all, his successor did the unthinkable. Standing before the silent, imposing tomb, the new pharaoh ordered it sealed shut, without carving the name. Sephon-Ra had built a monument to his eternal glory, a gateway to immortality. But without his name, it became nothing more than a prison. His body vanished with time, and his own kingdom systematically wiped him from history. And yet, his name did survive, not as a legend, not as a god, but as a whispered curse. The story of the pharaoh who tried to cheat death and in doing so, died twice. Once in his body and once more in memory. History often remembers those who strive for greatness. But sometimes the darkest rulers are not forgotten for what they built. They are remembered for the terrible cost of their ambition. Seth-Ra didn't win immortality. He became something far worse, the ghost of a king who erased himself. If you love the dark side of royal history, the tales of cursed kings, and the secrets ancient rulers tried to bury forever, then follow us for more stories just like this one. The next tale we have for you is even darker. Thanks for watching.